Hello everyone, hope you're having a great time. And as you might remember my last video, my name is Paz and I'm in the last year of my secondary education. And at this time, I will introduce you to my life, and to be more specific, to my school life. To begin with, let me introduce you to my first years of life. My parents were Linda Armijo and Pablo Burgos, and I was born on March 17 of the year 2003 at the Peñalolén commune at Santiago, but my parents lived at La Reina commune. So I lived at Santiago until my first year of life, when my parents got separated. After my parents' separation, my mom took me to live in Alto Hospicio with my grandfather's sister, which I used to call Mami Chori. I was raised by her and her husband, a man that till the age of today I am very grateful for all the love, education and values that he taught me. My Tata Freddy. At Alto Hospicio I lived with my cousins, and by that time they were almost my sisters, Natalia and the little one of us, Gabriela. When we were together, we always had a good time. Now, at first we lost contact, but now, thanks to social media, I have been able to catch up with them. The years went by and I, as the older one, had to enter school. So, my first 2 years of life I spent at the William Taylor Methodist Bicentennial High School. I have always been a good student, so since I was little I was always having good grades. I was always outgoing and a curious child, so I maybe annoy some kids because of this. On my first 2 grades I remember almost nothing, but I do remember my first friend. Her name was pretty particular. Her name was Taina, and I remember her because, like me, she didn't have many friends. The other kids didn't like her because she had lice all over her hair, and she was very poor too. I remember myself going to the bathrooms with her and passing her a comb, and since that day we've become friends. But when I turned 6, my mom won my custody, so I had to go to live with her at Antofagasta. I was very sad because I wouldn't see my cousins very frequently, but I continued traveling to Alto Hospicio for 3 or 4 years more, and then we lost contact. And I miss them so much, but I know that neither they nor I are the same person that we used to be when we were young. So I treasure their memory deep in my heart. Continuing, at 6, I went to live at Antofagasta, and I met a man that loved me as his daughter, even if I wasn't by blood. My dad, Carlos. He was always nice, tolerant, patient, and good to me. So with him and my mom, I think that I had all the love that I needed. But as their only child, I felt a little lonely. Already in Antofagasta, I cursed my 3rd year of primary school at the Experimental Artistic High School. And I really loved that school because it had a theater subject and a lot of creative activities that we do. And the place was very beautiful also. I was a very shy kid after the change of city, but I still managed to make a friend, and her name was Javiera. She was my best friend. Unfortunately, I didn't get along very well with my other classmates, so I felt really sad. I guess that the change of city was a little too abrupt. I started to drop my grades and I misbehaved. Now I found it funny, but at Lea I remember sneaking into the computer labs through the windows to play an online game. The year ended and my parents decided that I had to change school. So in my 4th grade, I entered at the Baptist Lee's Hart School. This year I didn't make many friends because I was still a very shy kid. But at this year I had my first parade. The things at my 5th grade switched at my failure. I started to make friends. Michelle, Berenice, and Sofia were their names. That year, I had a really cute birthday, and I invited them and another girls. And this because it was a kind of spa birthday. At the end of this year, we had a pool party, and I remember that it was really funny. And at the end, we ate completos, that are the Chilean hot dogs. In my 6th grade, a lot of things happened. I turned out 10 and I had much more friends. We have a lot of PMAs with my friends, and I met this year a new friend, and her name was Martina. That year, I remember we had the dance to the flag dance, and I remember that it came out very cute. At this year, I have my very first boyfriend, and his name was Alonso. And being honestly, we weren't boyfriends, we were just close friends. And till the day of today, I love him very much. At the end of this year, I had an award and an honorific because of my grades. I was becoming a smart kid again. In 7th grade, I made a friendship with my classmates Constanza and Michelle. We always had a great time together, and they were the 2 craziest people that I've ever met. This year, for the first time, I dressed up for Halloween and an attempt of Mad Hatter. Also, this year was the year that I first fell in love with a girl that I mentioned before. Her name was Martina. And sadly for me, she didn't like me in that way. Later that year, I had my 2nd boyfriend, and you will hear the word boyfriend very much at this video. What can I say? I guess I'm a very dating person. Well, his name was Vicente, but it didn't last long because first we weren't for each other, and we were both very immature. Still, I got to go to his graduation because we broke up at summer. So, 8th grade, my last year of my primary school. And I didn't mention it before, but since the previous year, I was going to a dance academy that we have at the school. The teacher's name was Fernando, but we used to call him Feña. He was a really good dancer and also a really good teacher. This year we have a lot of performances, but my favorite one was the last one. We had a collaboration with a dance company, and we did our gala, and that was the name of our performance. Moving to the other things that happened at this same year, at the language score we have to perform a mini play, and we took The Little Prince, in which I was the fox. And I think that the most important thing that happened to me that year was my friendship with Fernanda. That till the day of today is still my best friend. Every morning before entering to classes, we had breakfast, our little picnic like we used to call it. Every friendship that I had before didn't last long, but she was different. It was like we were meant to be best friends. I strengthened my friendship with my classmates. Whenever I had problems at home, going to school meant forgetting about those problems. They always managed to get a smile out of me, and without realizing it, they became like a second family to me. I had my graduation at the end of this year, and with that, the end of my primary school was around the corner. The last day on that school was very sad and nostalgic, and we were all crying. I guess that we all felt that class like our second family, but we have to say goodbye. With my best friend Fernanda, we decided to apply for the St. Joseph School, and we were accepted with some other different kids of our last school. Sadly, with Feña we weren't at the same class. She were at the D class and I was at the A class. But anyway, I managed to make some friends. but also I was extremely shy that year. My first friends was Fiorella and Bianca, and then came Nicole, Carlos, and Felipe. We were a very strange group, but we were laughing all the time. That year, I had my third relationship with a girl named Gabriela, but it didn't last long because we had so much trouble with her mother. The second year of my preparatory was for me a 360-degree turn. First of all, I was blonde, and you can imagine what comes next. I participated at the bars, the painted bodies, and the canvas, and our class turned out the champion of that anniversary, and I remember that we were all happy and very euphoric. Also, this year we had to perform a play for the English subject, and I remember that I was really excited about this, and our play turned out really great. As well, this year I became a friend of 3 girls that were Clio, Valentina, and Juliana. We always had great times and the laughs were never absent. This year I had my 4th boyfriend, and I told you that I was a very dating person. His name was Pablo, and once more it didn't last long. We were both still very mature for our relationship, but I will always treasure the good moments. The year ended, and the study tour that we will have at the south of Chile was getting closer and closer. The day came out, and our class was at the airport, about to leave for Santiago. Both horrible and memorable moments happened in that study tour. Moving on to 3rd grade. This year was massive, and saying that a lot of things happened at this year falls very short. Starting at first day of school, I broke with my boyfriend. 2 boys arrived at our class that were Franco and Ignacio, and I quickly became friends with Nacho. I also met a boy named Octavio that was a really, and let me emphasize in this, a really strange boy, but deep down he always had a good heart. This year the spiritual journey was very great. The activities that they did were very funny and made me get even closer to my classmates. Also, this year were incorporated the elective subjects, and I decided to enter at the elective one. Their plan was philosophy, language, and English. In our elective were a few people. We were just 15. I had a really hard time adapting at first, but then I got used to the rhythm. At that year, we did a whole book week that was scheduled by me with all the humanistic electives. It was stressful, but everything came out very beautiful. And the humanistic area finally had its place at the St. Joseph School. Also, at the English subject, we did a mini musical about the High School Musical movie. The year went by and the anniversary came out. This year, I participated at the musical, the canvas, and the Arabian trio. Later that same year, we had the Chiu Chiu travel. We went there to do community service. There, I passed a very good time with my friends, but it was also a great self-reflection moment. The only bad thing is that the day that we went there, it was very cloudy, so at night you couldn't see the stars. Also, picking up trash at the community service, I found a can of pineapple jam, which I still keep to this day as a souvenir. The first semester went by and the dance of the national holidays was getting closer. This was our last dance. I really enjoy learning Pascuense, and the dance really came out very beautiful. As one of the most complicated things here at the St. Joseph School, the play was coming. After many discussions, we came out with the Maldito Delirio play, in which I was an actress, my character named Sofia. Before we could perform our play, here in Chile was a social explosion. The people got tired from being robbed and sold by the state and raised their voices. Because of this, our school year ended at October and not in December as usual. The last and I think one of the most significant things that happened to me at this year was meeting Nacho. And I mean, I knew him before, but let me explain. I always thought that he was so much for me, even though when he told me that he liked me. But that time I knew that I wasn't ready for him. So I forced myself to throw this year repeating myself that I didn't like him, even though I feel a rush in my heart with the little things that he did. It was also because I was a little too afraid for love again. But the summer after the 3rd grade ended, I realized that I couldn't fight against it. I really liked him. So I gave him a letter. And I remember that I was really nervous, but he still liked me. He waited for me. And everything started. The things with him were very different than anything before. He treats me so good, the communication is fluid, and I can keep falling in love with him more and more. In conclusion, I really like him. And this was what brings me to now, the last year of my school life. And I didn't mention it before, but in 3rd grade, I applied for a CL list. That is an student center. Also because the explosion, we have to move it to the next year. We did beautiful things for our campaign, but sadly we lost for a few votes. But I still enjoy being with them. At the last first day of school, in the afternoon journey, with my boyfriend, we didn't go to class and go to the beach. And I have no regrets. That day was amazing. Mostly like all the days with him. You guys have eaten my cheesy stuff before, so I don't think you care now. Putting above aside, we all know that 2020 is cursed. So I attended practically a week of classes, and now we are doing everything by online classes. And until now, it's going pretty well for me. A message to my classmates. And I'm sorry, Miss Patty, if I'm misunderstanding you, but I consider a little absurd giving my classmates a message. They are very old to think for themselves. At least I hope so. So I better leave a message for the future generations. You are unique. You need to stop thinking that you're just a mark. They don't define us, and you are not worthless or a lost cause. We all humans are unique. Our forms of learning are different. You have to try. And if it doesn't work, try something else. And if you found out something that you really like, you have to try harder. You don't go to school to get a mark. You go there to learn. And be patient with yourself. And please, take care of yourselves. Mental health will be always more important than a mark. Also, you're gonna feel lonely. And not just at school, at life. But that doesn't mean that you're lonely. It's completely normal to feel that way. Friendships come and go. And trust me, the only thing that really matters at the end of the day, it's you. And if you don't work on yourself, you're never gonna get out of there or anywhere. And don't think it too much. Appreciate the people around you. The good teachers that will do anything for you to learn, to educate you. They are there for you. Thank them. Thank you very much for your watching, and bye bye!